what the deal is with this audio, how good it is or it's not. You're probably gonna have to move in. What up, what up, what up? We just setting stuff up. Got about 6 minutes left. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. Hey, thank y'all for joining. Hey, make sure y'all subscribe too. We got a couple minutes before we live, but make sure y'all subscribe. Mike check. That's good. Couple minutes before we start. So y'all about 6 minutes left. So thank y'all for checking in. We got a dope show for y'all. You already know. You gonna put it over there, Steve? All right. Trying to see comments and stuff, though. You know you can go, what you call it, too. Okay. You already started? I'm not yet. Okay. Instagram, that's done. Well, whichever's comfortable for you. It don't make me a difference. And you can also, if you don't want to watch it on here, you can also go to Facebook, theblacktapepodcast.com, or you can go to Instagram at theblacktapepodcast.com. We're live from everywhere. So make sure you check us out. 5 minutes left. Dope show for y'all. We're going to be talking about some fatherhood. We're going to be talking about a few things. So make sure y'all stay around. And subscribe. I can't say that. I told y'all we got some prizes, some games going on, but we can't do that until y'all start subscribing. So make sure that y'all subscribe. Yo, got about 4 minutes left. Again, while y'all watching this, we checked in a little early just so we could set up everything. What's up? Make sure y'all subscribe. We got a great show for y'all. Great information, talking about some great things today. We talking about fatherhood, something that everybody knows about on this show. So that's a great thing. It's just the what we talked about earlier. It might be less than 7:20. Three minutes. Do you need that?
No. Should wear my glasses for this one. Can't see nothing. Good, IG. Come on in. Welcome home. Sorry, you.
Yo, you already know what it is. It's your boy DJ Too Easy with the one and the only.
Mr. Education, Mr. Williams.
Ooh, he added an extra name to it. I ain't mad at you. Hey, we are here. We are live. We're here to do another great show with y'all. First thing I want to ask is, how was your weekend? What's up with you, man? How was your weekend?
Got some more firepower for the career. Because stay ready. You ain't got to get ready. So just preparing. Just hanging out, preparing, chilling with my son, and cooling. That's pretty much it, man.
Okay.
What about you?
Me, family, spend time, kids. All the amazing things that you do when you got a family.
Yeah.
Nothing too out of the ordinary for me. I done slowed down a lot. I was out there in them streets. I done traveled the world, being in the military, all the different stuff. I'd had opportunity to do a lot. So for me, like the meme that I shared, this social distancing, stay at home thing, it's perfect for me because that's all I really want to do anyway. Go outside, play with the kids, mingle, watch movies, cuddle, all that amazing stuff. What about you? What's new in your life?
I ain't nothing new, man. Just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like not at work right now. Being in education and stuff, everything kind of slowed down quite a bit. So really just getting this online learning thing popping, we checking in on our teachers and our students, making sure everybody's engaged. That's really about it for real.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about the greatest DJ Durl. What's his name?
DJ
Tell
Durl.
us about him, man. What's this show gonna be about? What is it?
The show we definitely gonna be talking about fatherhood. The passion for fatherhood, some of the challenges that we face in fatherhood. He's definitely has some resources and things we kind of want to tap into for our audience. And just talking about our experiences as fathers. That's one of the toughest jobs is to be a parent. You know what I'm saying? And then to be a father, it's a hard job. I'm speaking from my perspective. So definitely
speaking from everybody's, we
definitely have to provide resources to support each other in this particular aspect. So that's really what the show's about for real.
Definitely. Again, being a father is an amazing thing. I got a chance to do it at a little bit of a younger age. I was probably about, 19 when I had my daughter. And actually, I had a debacle before that. I ain't never told nobody about this debacle. Only my parents knew about it. So I was messing with this girl in high school, and she was a twin. So I took twins to the prom. Oh man, I got so much props for that. Everybody's like, "Oh man, you taking twins to the prom? Oh, you about to be." I missed my boy Ken put me on. Ended up going to the prom, and goofy me. We after prom we kicked it and did whatever. And she a few months later, came to me, told me she was pregnant.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. And I was looking at going to school further away, like Tennessee or something like that, but I made some adjustments trying to be a good man, a Superman or whatever. Long story short, my mama used to be like, mama's intuition is everything. If mama tell you something is what it is, you better believe mama telling you what it is. Mama was like, Ali, I'm gonna tell you, that's not your baby. I'm like, oh man, I'm the only person. So we going through the whole motion. I'm been bringing the baby over to the house. I'm playing daddy, trying to do what I can. Now, mind you, I was a senior in high school, so I was I didn't know no better. So we ends up getting a blood test. I can't remember because it was because of her mama, my mama, whatever. We got a blood test. Blood test results come back. It's not mine. My mom was like, I told you. So I was heated. So I went over there ready to fight. Like, man, what the hell? Why would you even da 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 da? And she was like, well, after you left, check this out right here. After we kicked it on that day, that was on a Friday night. She hung out the whole weekend and ended up hanging with her girls, who was a little bit out there. They met some dudes at the bowling alley. Kicked it with the dudes at the bowling alley. She ended up messing with the dude. He got her pregnant, and guess what? He gave her the wrong phone number, so she didn't even have his contact information. So he did his thing and dipped out. So long story short, that was my first little debacle. It wasn't mine. And then my knucklehead butt went and did it again in college because I ain't learned my lesson. But so that was my first child. She is now about to be 18 years old this summer and getting ready to go be great out here in the world as an adult.
You old, dog?
No, I'm definitely not old. I'm definitely not old. I look good, baby. I look good. And then I have after that. Again, my daughter's 8. She'll be 18, and I have sons, and having a son and daughter. Of course, multiple boys. It's an amazing thing. The opportunity to just get you for you to learn life and experience things that you would not get to experience. And you had that opportunity also.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got kids. I got 3 girls and 1 boy. I definitely take on the role of a girl dad. I think Durl on there. So I take on the role of a girl dad. 3 girls. That they kind of stole my heart as soon as they came out. So I definitely refer to my oldest as my first love. But then I had 3 other loves after her. So my 3 girls, my son, so 15 all the way down to 6. All a blessing, all different types of personalities, all very intelligent, all very bright, very active. Just a wide range of it's a diverse crowd, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely take pleasure in raising my children and being there for my kids. So definitely an experience.
Do you have a favorite? Now I'm asking you this because
I do.
I had this conversation and I asked my mom, like, did she have? Is it okay to like have a favorite? Yada yada yada. And we had this whole talk. So do you have a favorite?
I do have favorites. I have a favorite 15-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I have a favorite 11-year-old daughter. I have a favorite 11-year-old son. I have a favorite 6-year-old daughter.
That's the politically correct answer to say. Yeah, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. I think I can't say that I have a favorite because they all came in different points in my life. The youngest one, amazing. Like he just everything that you could want, everything that I missed with my older kids because I was in the military and I was out there slutting and doing everything I shouldn't have been doing. Sure. Everything I missed with them, I'm able to do with the youngest one. So it's an amazing opportunity for me to just, get everything that I missed. And I'm just a different man then. Back then, I was, like I said, I was reckless. I was chasing women. I wasn't ready to settle down. So I had a different outlook on life as to where now, for me, going outside and riding a bike with the kid and rolling around in the grass or flying kites or just all of that, trying to teach them how to be a leader and, talking about love and all that different type of stuff. For me, that's amazing. For me, that's amazing. Again, we got DJ Durl. He'll be checking in at 8:15. I see you checking us out. Make sure you check in on us at 8:15. We're gonna bring you in on the live, and then we're gonna talk about who DJ Durl is. How great he is. He got a whole movement on YouTube, and of course throughout the world. He's a great guy. Great things going on. So we're gonna bring him in at 8:15. Let me ask you this: what was your hardest experience being a parent? For the first couple of years.
So My heart, my first couple of years with my oldest daughter, there really wasn't any type of difficult experiences. It didn't come until later on when I ended up meeting somebody outside of her mom. Is when the difficulty started to arise. And then at that particular point, things got a little bit chaotic, a little bit hectic. I just tried to keep my cool throughout the whole situation.
Right. Been there.
Try to politically correct route and everything else. I mean, that was definitely probably the hardest thing, just making that transition from, seeing my daughter damn near every day, to, mom being upset and, things changing a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But we were young at the time, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think that's a common reaction when feelings are involved and people get hurt.
Right.
So, I mean, no blame on her, you know what I'm saying? I blame it on immaturity on both of our parts, you know what I mean? So that was probably the most difficult thing for me.
I think the most difficult for me was when I was young. Again, when I got married the first time, I was young. I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. I was a young man. I was still chasing women and doing all of the stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. And I remember even one time my mama visiting me, and again, I was totally different than I am now. I literally had to get down on my knees and ask God to soften my heart, because the military and life experiences and just a lot of things just took me to total opposite way. So, my mom even had to tell me one day, she's like, Ali, I don't like, I was stationed down in Texas at the time, and I had brought my ex-wife down. She was my wife at the time, and I had brought her down. And I was just, I was just an asshole. I was just mean to her. I didn't want her to stay. I wanted her to stay long enough to get what I wanted to get from her.
Right.
And then I wanted her to leave because I still wanted to do what I wanted to do. So just being able to having to bear that cross that, I'm not there with my sons 24/7 because I'm not with their mom, has definitely been a struggle for me. It kind of it has broken me down before, 'cause, it made me feel like, I was less of a man because I couldn't figure it out and da 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 da. But then I came to the realization that life happens and experiences are supposed to teach you and lead you to who you are supposed to be, as long as you learn from those experiences. I think it's 100 trillion people walking this earth who probably have some of the same experiences you have. And if you don't learn from the other people around you, like your family and friends, then that's your fault.
For sure. It's important when you drop the ball that you pick it back up, especially with your kids. And I feel like you have to be humble enough, and tuck away, some of your pride and everything else when you're dealing with your kids, because it's okay to apologize to your kids too. And that's something I had to come to the realization of. And just having those difficult and tough conversations with my children about, mistakes of the past and things that I've done. And just being man enough just to show them, like, I'm not perfect. I have made mistakes in the past, but I'm definitely striving to get better in these particular areas. And I think it's important that children see that. They see flaws. They don't see a perfect person with their parents and different things of that nature. And they see these flaws and they see how you bounce back from those flaws or those mistakes that you make. To let them know that they don't have to be perfect. And it's okay to make mistakes as long as you grow from those mistakes.
Right.
So.
Yeah, going from the mistakes, learning, being able to own up to your mistakes. And that's kind of, I try to teach especially my young boys. My daughter, I'm real with her. Like, we have a loving relationship, but I'm also real with her. And I tell her how these niggas is. I keep it 100 with her. We have conversations, and I tell her, I already know you're going to make mistakes in life. I already know everything that I tell you. It's going to go one ear and out the other until you bump your head. And then you're going to say, damn, my daddy told me that. But hopefully, when you bump your head, because you have to in life, you say, "Dang, my daddy told me that," and then you learn from the mistake. I think that's what we lack a lot of times. We're so arrogant and so aggressive with being in control of our own lives that we figure we know better than our parents do. And oftentimes, we don't give people the correct deference that we should. They've lasted on this earth longer than us for a reason. For whatever that reason is, got a lot of knowledge.
We was like that growing up too. I know I definitely was. I didn't always take the lessons.
Hey man, I wasn't no knucklehead. I was a good kid.
I made mistakes growing up. I wasn't a knucklehead neither.
Listen,
I wasn't good.
I was a knucklehead. My mama, listen, my daddy and everybody else that was around used to be like, he bad as hell. My mama, she loved me to death. She'd say, my son ain't bad. He mischievous. Don't call my son bad. And it's funny because because Bryce sometimes he reminds me so much of me. All my kids are afraid of me, but Bryce is the one who tries to test the waters every now and then to see what he can get away with. He reminds me of me so much. It's just hilarious. So again, you just live and you learn, man. You live and you learn. I think that I don't think I know for a fact life will teach you. You're gonna make mistakes as a parent. You're going to do things. I think we all want to, in some way, shape, and form, feel like I want my kids to have a better life than I do. But I also want them to be able to go through some of the things that I went through so that they can learn from those mistakes before it's too late. Um, for those of you who follow me on Facebook, I posted something that he had on his mirror for his son. That it was a breakdown of his schedule since they're out of school. Breakdown of the schedule, what his son should be doing every hour on the hour. And then it was a message that said, you're great. I love you. You're amazing. Yada yada yada. And I thought that was deep because I feel like a lot of times as men, we don't show love. We don't show our kids love. We don't hug them. We don't kiss them and say, "Hey, you great." We don't instill and enforce in them that positive love. We spend so much time growing up not knowing how to control our emotions that when we get to a certain age, it's all rah rah. I got to be tough.
Mhm.
What we don't realize is the real tough guy is the one that will do anything for his family and his kids and don't have a problem saying, "I love you and I appreciate you."
But
So
I think that comes with age, comes with maturity too. Because I mean, I haven't always been that. You know what I'm saying? I have to take
definitely.
steps back. You know what I'm saying? Like me being, me coming from a household where, my parents were divorced and different things of that nature, not seeing what a man was supposed to be in the household and trying to learn that on my own. I definitely made some mistakes with that. So I found myself being, kind of hard on my son at times, but then having to take a step back and self-reflect or be checked by people that are close to me
Definitely.
about things that I need to probably do better. And I had to take that and kind of reflect and just apply it to my relationship with my
Definitely.
son.
Want to take the time to introduce?
What's going on, sir? How you doing? Yes, sir. We can definitely hear you. So we got DJ Durl on the line. So first, I'm gonna let you do your own introduction, man. Like, tell us who you are. I know we seen on the flyer your favorite. So you're our favorite. What our favorite DJ? We already know that. One of the top DJs in Columbus. You do a lot of different things around the city. So I mean, kind of talk about who you are and some of your background and stuff for us.
For sure. Thank you for coming. What's the name of it? Right. Right. Right.
For sure.
like and fraternity comes in where I want to show and share other fathers and their stories, and that we can also become heroes within our family, and that we can do fraternity where we are just together and talking, kicking it, and have a safe space where we can just, talk about our faith, talk about our anxiety, talk about our happy times, our milestones, all those things that my fathers don't really get a chance to do. I wanted to have that, and I didn't have it when I first started, so I figured out I was going to make it. So I'm saying that I can't complain about it. I didn't make it. So I said 500%.
No, that's super dope, super dope. So you talked about, like, you said that you didn't have it when you first, and I definitely want to get back to the fatherhood fraternity thing, because I watched one of the YouTube videos about breast milk and drinking breast milk, and it had me weak. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to talk about some of that aspect too. So with the fatherhood fraternity, and you said that you didn't have that when you first started. So kind of talk a little bit about like your background. You know what I'm saying? Like, what gave you the desire to want to be such a great father to let your daughter know that you loved her before you even met her? Like, where did all that come from?
It's really just, I was when I first became a father, or was about to be, I was going through a time with my dad. So like me and him weren't really like clicking. And it was like a lot of, I had beef. I felt some type of way about how he handled my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like there was no expression of emotions. There was no patience. It was just a lot of stuff that I felt I was lacking that I didn't understand until I got older. I'm like, I can't go down this same path. My dad's a great father, great provider. He did all he could, and he did all he knew what was right. It just, for me and my personality or whatever, I just needed a little bit more of patience on a lot of things, or just the time. Like, he was a provider, he worked a whole bunch,
Right.
but I wanted that quality time. And that made all those things started clicking, like mentors that I grew up with started passing away when I was becoming a father. So it's like, man. And then a big milestone in my life was my sister, my niece, who is now I think 21.
Mm-hmm.
Her father passed before she was born. So that has always been in the back of my mind, like, man, she's never met her father. Right. And everybody she meets has always said how great of a guy he is, how much he loves her before he even met her. I wanted this, that if anything happened, that it would be something that my daughter could find later on, like, he did love her. And that is like the roots before all of that stuff.
For sure. So, like, what type of challenges have you experienced? Whether it be, just becoming a father, like a new father, up until the point that you're at right now. So, I mean, I heard you say husband, father. So you have all these different roles and things that you're trying to balance, working, DJ, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, creating that time for your family, for your daughter. What type of challenges are you encountering, and then what type of things are you putting in place to make sure that you're intentional about the time that you're spending with those different parties within your life, and that you're able to find balance as a father?
All of those are challenges, like not having enough time, not knowing where to put that time, knowing where to put that energy, and then learning from those mistakes, because I've made a lot of mistakes. I make mistakes every single day, and I can't even take credit for how great of a father I am without really giving credit to my wife being able to give me the chance to have that space to not only follow my dreams, but to also, provide. Right. So I've learned from it all. Like, it's been a challenge from the beginning. So the way that I'm trying to get above those challenges or around those challenges is just really recognizing the faults first. Being able to take feedback, take critiques, knowledge, like seeking mentorship, watching people, not feeling like I have all the answers. That's my main thing, is knowing that I don't have all the answers, so I can at least try to continue to find them. It really starts at the core of like my faith and just being a better person, and I can be a better person for everybody else.
Now, I heard you say something about your father earlier, and it kind of made me think about my dad. My dad was a very old school cat. He was definitely not. I think he told me he loved me one time, and that was when my mother made him tell me because we were getting ready to fight in the hallway. Aside of that, he was an old school cat, so he was different. Now, the teachings that he gave me were, I'm not here to teach. I'm not here to tell you I love you. I'm here to teach you how to be a man. So everything that he taught me when I got older, I kind of understood it a lot more. Now I got the things that I lacked from him because he was so hard on me. I got it from my mother. Very affectionate, very loving, very caring, all of those things. So I kind of got the best of both worlds. How would you say that affected you coming up with your father?
Like I was thinking earlier, I really didn't see a problem with it because I didn't recognize any of these things as being issues until I had to live with somebody. And those are that's like the biggest mirror. When you're living with somebody who is seeing all your faults and presenting them to you, then you gotta either fix them or ignore them. And if you want to resolve it, you're not about to ignore it. So I didn't notice there was a problem until it became bigger problems, where I wouldn't communicate, where I wouldn't even try to show any type of patience in my situations, because before all of this, if I don't like what you was doing, I didn't have to stick around for it.
Right.
When there's a child involved and you want to try to do what's right, you gotta push through it.
For sure.
And when you're in that mind frame of pushing through it, you have to really be self-aware. I went through. My daughter is 3. She's about to be 4. I went through 2 years of self-awareness where it's just like, this is not working. Like for me, I'm not working, and it's still a journey every day. But it's really just a everyday thing where you gotta keep on trying to learn what to do correctly.
Right. It's good that you get an opportunity to, as men, a lot of times, again, we're so arrogant and stuck in the world's way of man is supposed to be like this. Man is supposed to be tough. Man is not supposed to show emotion. When I got that out of me and I learned how to show emotion to my kids, it's one of the most amazing feelings that you can have. How would you say that having your kid or your kids has changed you?
In every way, like I was already going through a maturity stage.
Mm-hmm.
I have some people have had their kids early. I had my daughter when I was 34, 33 or 34. So I had my time.
Right.
To be immature without it really directly affected how I deal with my daughter at that moment. You know what I'm saying? If I was in there, like at the beginning of being a DJ, beginning of doing everything, I may not have had the best choices being made. I definitely wouldn't have. So with already me getting older and then having a child and then having a wife all at the same time, a lot of stuff changed. A lot of things that we had to figure out, like what's really good for you, what's the what is the real you and what's the facade, what is good for you and what is fat that you gotta cut off.
Right.
And all those extra questions came along, and those have led to the changes.
So I know for me, the biggest change was when I had a daughter. So like I was younger, so I was doing all the things that you were saying, but then I had a girl. You know what I'm saying? I feel like girls, and I know that you can speak for this too because you have a daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like girls change us. They change us drastically. You know what I mean? They stop you in your tracks. They make you self-reflect. They make you reflect on all the hurt and pain that you may have caused in the past to other females and different things of that nature. And then that protection of a man, you know what I'm saying? Like just wanting to be there to protect them at all costs, and vowing that no man will ever hurt them and stuff like that. So I guess in that type of mindset, thinking about the protective nature, like what are some of the things that I guess that you look forward to being a father, experiencing with your daughter and so forth, and then what are some of your fears being a father with a daughter? Yeah.
The fears led to, I mean, of course, the fears not being around, not being able to see the milestones, or not even just physically, but just my memory. I feared that.
Yeah.
I feared not being able to have that there. The fear also led to me doing good things, which was getting insurance, making sure I have that life insurance policy to take care of whatever may come up, and also making sure I document as much as everything. So that was the biggest fears. The best things I look forward to are the milestones and being there, being present, and seeing how her memories have me in them. Making sure that as she is getting older, that I can see myself, the good and the bad. Like, I look forward to all of that because she's really impressionable. And when people ask me about how it's been with the quarantine, which may come up later, I actually have to think of it like a blessing, because I was always worried, like, man, she's at daycare like 9-10 hours a day. We get an hour before we drop her off, and like 2 hours after. I don't really get a chance to be effective as much as I want to be on shaping her. Now it's full time.
Full time, for sure.
She here, and for better or for worse, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see exactly what she's turned into, and I can also shape it.
Yeah.
And that's what I look forward to, is not really shaping her into what I want her to be, but just being around to see her turn into what she's going to be, and just throwing my little gems in every now and then to figure out, hey, you may want to, but I'll let you figure it out. But you know what I'm saying? Those type of things. So I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I thought it was really dope. Like I said, just looking over your page and stuff. And that's why I wanted to ask you, because I saw the things that you were doing with your daughter. And I saw like the story time with Ava, you know what I mean? And this time you said you weren't going to read her story. You wanted her to tell you a story.
Yeah.
And I definitely thought that was really dope. So like during this quarantine time, like what type of creative things are you doing to help mold, to help shape, kind of like what you were just talking about, your daughter?
Yeah, so during this time, like I said, with her being 4, like, she needs full attention. And we're both working from home, so we got to do what we can when we can. So I'm not going to front like every hour there's an hands-on activity. There's some TV and some tablet involved.
For sure.
But the creative way to do things, before this, I printed off a whole bunch of stuff. So she learned about tracing. Dollar Tree has a whole bunch of resources for teachers and for learning resources for kids. So we got like this, a lot of dry erase stuff where she can do her tracing, draw me a picture. We got this big old art pad where she can draw what she sees. So like, I'm like, draw me a family, draw me us, or draw some animals. Or I got her a bunch of stickers, and I'll place the stickers, and I'll have her draw what they live in. Like those type of things where it keeps her active. And like, if we're watching TV, we try to do education stuff first. And whatever comes out of that, like if it's a letter or a word or something, then I try to keep it the theme. So like if they're talking about forest animals, we may take a walk and find some acorns or a squirrel or something, and talk about hibernation, because she actually knew that from daycare, and just try to make sure that it's a theme. And that's been very effective. Also, she's into sight. We're trying to get into sight words. Mm-hmm. So they have like the little flashcards. And y'all seen Color Purple. Y'all know Color Purple, where they have the words up on stuff.
Yeah.
We just put words up on the wall, and before she walks out of her room every morning, we go over those 7 words and we point to them, and just trying to do different things, because I switch it up every week to try to have her still engaged. But I hope this weather breaks so we can do more stuff outside. But as much as we can do inside, we dancing, we as much as possible to keep her active, because she needs it.
For sure.
Dope. What would you say, as a parent? I learned that as much as we want our kids to be what we want them to be, we kind of have to let them come into their way of things. How are you what adjustments are you making to ensure that you don't kind of trample over her decision making when she wants to do certain things?
Right. I think the biggest thing starting off is exposure. So like exposing her to as many things as possible that she can possibly want to do or want to see or be involved in, and taking my feelings out of it, and then just like watching how she reacts to it.
Right.
Encouraging her to at least give it a try, because she's like an African dance, and the first one is always hard because it's like, man, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how they're gonna react.
Right.
But she stuck to it and she loves it. And just the initial exposure to it started that off. I wouldn't expect to have her be into dance classes, but that dance class has turned into an activity that me and her can do because now she likes dancing.
Right.
So it's really just whenever I'm exposing her to, I try to not react, either negatively or positively, so that she can have her own feeling towards it.
Right.
And that's the main thing. It's like, ooh, why you want to do that? You know, it's like I don't want to. It's super easy to do that. Like, man, we ain't about to do that.
Right.
But like, if it's something that's healthy, I mean, I can at least let her figure it out.
Right.
Sure.
Will you plan on having more?
Oh yeah. I mean.
Oh yeah.
He said, "Oh yeah."
She definitely is like looking forward to that. So, it's gonna happen.
Okay. So with the fatherhood fraternity, I know that you were talking about like just providing resources and different things of that nature.
Yep.
Could you share some of those resources, or maybe share some like connections that we can make for the people that are watching, so they know where to go and they know how to find you, how to find the resources that you have available with the fatherhood fraternity? I know that you talked about your YouTube channel earlier, and like I said, that breast milk thing, I'm with you. I never tasted breast milk in my life.
I have.
See, that it's two people, but I've never. Yeah.
You said it tastes like wine? Oh, I thought you said it tastes like wine. I was about to say, oh, this must be some new stuff then.
One of the main I was a group chat, a group talk. Like I alluded to it earlier, on Facebook, we have a closed group for men to join. It'd be women who try to join. I do not allow them to get in here. But like it's, I think about 400 or 500 of us in there. Actively, it's probably about 100 guys or whatever. And we have questions. We share pictures. Like it'll be random stuff, but it's stuff that guys in our situation understand.
Right.
So it's not just black fathers. There's fathers not just in Ohio. There's fathers everywhere going through all types of situations. Some going through divorce. Some trying to get custody. And we all have those different experiences. There's no one father. Like everyone has a different situation. So I wanted us to be able to throw questions in, like a random question. One of the fathers was like, yo, who's had experience with going to Disney World? And then 15, 20 fathers like, yo, do this, do that, do that. Like, it's just like a good group to either bounce ideas off of, or just like talk about how our kids are getting on our nerves. Like, those type of things without being judged.
Yeah.
Because most of us can't really just put that on Facebook or express that to a woman, because they have their own experiences, and not to negate their experiences also. Right. Not to say that ours are any better or anything, but we have our own experiences that we should be able to feel free to express. So within that, when something comes up and somebody says, hey, I need a lawyer for this type of case, or I have some questions, within that group, we try to provide more resources. Like, yo, do you know somebody, or can you message me, something like that? And that's where it starts. Like, I don't have any set up like nonprofit or anything like that. It's just a conversation piece or a conversation starter where we're checking in on each other, because our mental, we understand what it's like. our first becoming a father.
Sure.
We understand what it's like when you get your first daughter. We understand what it's like when our kids turn teenagers, or if you're beefing with the person who is the other parent. We need each other for that.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's easier to do it with a stranger who can't tell, somebody else that like, bruh, going through it. Sometimes you just want to tell somebody and just bounce off stuff.
Right.
So that's the main thing. 'Cause I wanted the same thing. So.
And what's the name of the site again for the people who might have just tuned in?
On Facebook, you can join our group called Fatherhood Fraternity. It's 2 words, and not spelled in crazy ways, just Fatherhood Fraternity. It's a closed group. Please join us. Even if you just want to listen or see what we're talking about, it's easy for that. And you never know what kind of references you may come up to. And we do quarterly meetups where the ones who are local, we try to do something either with the kids or without the kids. We try to do one with the kids and one without. So like Super Bowl Sunday, I bought a section at our bar and had everybody bring some wings and
Balling. Balling.
It was just $150.
It was just $100. Hey man, listen.
Like we don't really have that as fathers.
Yeah.
It was other people too, but we just need that space sometimes where we can like fellowship.
For sure.
Definitely.
Have a drink.
Definitely.
A couple of adult beverages because we be stuck in the house with our kids.
Now, do you all meet? Do you got? Is it a certain amount of y'all that might meet weekly or monthly or?
I know a few of them, so we see each other in the chat. But I try to at least every quarter do something where we can link up. And the ones who are in different cities, I encourage them all to link up with each other too. So a few of my friends are in different cities, so I try to let them take charge of where y'all going to meet up. But I try to say like February, May, August, November. Let's do something.
Right.
Because we need to see each other. Just to pat each other on the back or share stories or not even talk about our kids. Like sometimes like that.
Yeah, for sure. After this quarantine, I hope there's gonna be one after this quarantine because we all need to get together.
Yeah.
I'm joining.
I definitely will.
No haircut, no nothing. We running straight out the house as soon as it open back up.
And make sure the next venue. Now make sure the next venue, since you told us how much it costs, make sure the next one be $200 or more. Now, don't wait for me to come around for you to go ahead and get the $25 little setup going on. I want the $200 boy that everybody else got. Definitely.
You don't understand, but I'm really an introvert more than anything. And I don't really need to be around people, but I do feed off the energy of like people who have understood the same experiences that I'm going through. Like I can look at y'all and know that y'all are fathers who may have had some type of similar experiences to me.
Right.
So I don't have to worry about me having to over-explain my background.
Right.
It feels a lot better. I feel more comfortable.
Absolutely.
Now, do you ever have you had anybody come out or join that wasn't Black?
Yeah, it is. It's very mixed.
Okay.
When it comes to the public stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's never an issue. But I do want to make sure that I put it out to my brothers first. Like,
right.
I need some representation. Bring your people.
Right.
But I just want us to. I don't want us to feel any type of way because there are white dad groups. I mean, they're dad's groups, and they're not labeled white, but they are. You know what I'm saying? So we just need to have our own little. Not that little. We just need to have our own.
Right.
So that's the thing. Is that representation is always a big difference, and I'm never going to act like I'm the spokesperson. I'm never going to act like I'm the perfect one. I just want it to be a representation of us.
Absolutely. Now, I'm new to the area. I just moved to Columbus probably about a month and a half ago. Once this little quarantine breaks, do you plan on doing any events, food drives, giveaways, stuff in the city? Anything that you have planned coming up?
So the plan that I had So I tweeted it a little bit, but
Right.
I want to have a family field day. Since we had the Super Bowl party,
Right.
I planned in May to get a park with a grill and a space to just have a family field day and have us do like some water games, some outdoor something where we can team up with our kids,
Right.
win some prizes, show the kids that dad is still out here and still got it a little bit. That's the plan. I also have a plan of wanting to rent out a photo studio so I can get fathers' pictures with their kids. And I just, since I do a little bit of photography, I just want to have it set up where all the fathers come through. We can get a big group photo, but also you get a photo with your child, and that's necessary. Like, it's one of those things where when I look back and see pictures of me and my daughter, it feels good. Like I remember the moment, I remember everything, and it just, I don't know what it's going to do for the kids, and I'd rather it be something that's a great memory. So that's my main things I'm trying to do. I want to have a field day whenever we are allowed to be out in the field,
right?
And I want to get some pictures done, so we can ask fathers kick it.
Well, I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't know if you would agree, but like any way that I'm able to support, I'm sure he feels the same. Any way that we're able to support,
definitely.
That type of movement, please let us know for sure. But, what I'm saying, like if it's a financial thing or whatever it is, what I'm saying, I'm definitely willing to support. I know he is as well. Being fathers, and that space is important, like you said. It's having that place to be able to come to be able to network with other fathers, and especially for somebody being new to the city or somebody like myself. I'm an introvert as well, so I'm to myself a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, but definitely having that space and that opportunity to network, to build those relationships with like-minded people is definitely important to me. So any way that I'm able to support you, please let me know. And I'm definitely willing to do it.
And I actually, go ahead.
I was just going to ask y'all some questions too, because I just want to know a little bit more too. Like, what makes y'all want to be better fathers?
For me, it's I'm the type of person who always says, people always say one person can't change the world, but I think one person can change the world. I think that if you think about throwing a big pebble into a little pond, how much of a ripple effect that makes, to the point to where even when it gets small and you can't see it, the water's still moving. It's the exact same concept for me when it comes to my kids. And I feel like probably about 30 or 40 years ago, maybe even longer than probably about 30 or 40 years ago, I feel like we lost it. We lost Black people, the family sense of what's going on. We lost the connection between the Black man and the Black woman. We lost marriage. We lost love. We lost community. We lost, how we used to say, you get your butt whooped at my house, and then if Miss Johnson catch you down the street acting up, she can whoop your butt and send you back down to me. So I try to do as much as I can with my kids to give them the things that I didn't have, but I also try to make things a little bit difficult for them so they can understand that life's not going to be easy. And I think that, first of all, your kids are a direct representation of you. But, I also coach youth football. I do a lot of other things in the community. And I think it's not just about your household. It's about everybody that looks like you household. Because if we can hone everybody in and set a certain standard, if we could get 65% to come all as one and have that standard, everything would change.
So I'm kind of in the same type of mindset. So for me, the reason why I want to or strive to be a better father every single day, just like I said, I grew up in a household. My parents got divorced when I was in 5th grade. Me and my father growing up, we didn't have the best relationship. And then I started to see how that translated when I got older. When I started getting into relationships and my relationships didn't work out the way I planned on it because of the lack of direction that was provided to me as far as like a male's perspective. So wanting to make sure that my children had that, so even though me and their moms might not be together, whatever the case may be, but you're still going to know that your daddy loves you and that your daddy's going to be there for you regardless of anything. So whatever pain, strife, whatever I have to go through or bear, the hate from others, opposite parent, or whatever the case may be, I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to give up, because you need to know that your father loves you Your father's going to be there to support you. And like I said, like he said, I just wanted to give better, just wanted to do more, wanted to give better, provide better for my children. That's kind of one of the reasons why I got into education as well, because now I'm in a position to where I can help touch on many lives. You know what I mean? So in my high school that I'm at, there's a lot of students who don't have a father figure, don't have, positive role models, or even if they do have a father figure, they need somebody else who's going to have their foot on their back to kind of push them to do better. And I take pride in that type of role. I think back around like when Trayvon Martin, the situation with Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown, and I think that kind of like set something off in me to leave, because we used to work together at Chase. So transitioning from Chase to the Boys and Girls Club, being at the Boys and Girls Club, being able to work with kids on an everyday basis, and then being able to magnify that. So instead of working with 40 kids, now I'm working with 1,800 kids at a high school. And I have the ability to touch their lives on an everyday basis, where they could come to my office and talk to me. They could come vent to me. I could be honest with them. I could be transparent and open. And it's different because it's not like hearing your parents' voice. It's hearing somebody else's voice. It's taking the time to care about you and wanting to mentor you, and different things of that nature. So just wanting to be better, not only for my kids, but for other kids as well. And just trying to be a role model. That's what pushes me.
And one of our, go ahead.
It's something that stuck with me too, is the community aspect of it all. And me doing these videos and me showing the stuff that me and my daughter do to the public is also adding to her village and her community. Right. So that when people see her, they see me, or those type of things, where I know when I used to come from in Dayton, when I got off the bus, I never know who I might see because I got to represent my family. Mm-hmm. So I want that same thing because I never know who may see me. And I want her to be able to be seen and looked out for, in a good way. Sure. The way that we used to in the old school times, where we, don't act crazy because I'll tell your daddy. Right. By the time you get home, you'll have a phone call, like those type of things. And that's what I want. I want the people who watch us to feel that same protection over my daughter as I would theirs.
Right. And one of our followers on YouTube just said it takes a village to raise a child. We lost that concept. I don't think we just lost it. I think we let them take it from us, as well as losing it, and we got to get it back. Him and I, of course, when things get a little bit better outside, we'll be putting some things together to hold the panel to talk about some of these things: fatherhood, leadership, what's going on in the community. So we definitely are going to keep you in tune when we do that, because we would love to have you.
Let me know too.
Definitely, sure. Definitely. Again, man, we appreciate you checking in. We appreciate the dopeness. If you could give out your websites again, tell everybody who your websites, everything.
So if you want to follow what we do on Father Fraternity, you can go to YouTube. Father Fraternity. Well, I think I'm just DJ Durl on there. So I try to make it as simple as possible on all platforms. DJ Durl. Within Facebook, you can follow our group or join our group, and it's Father Fraternity. Fellas, please, just come talk to us. And anything else, you'll see it on my page. Just come holler at me on IG. I'll try to make sure I keep fathers, photos, and music going on. I even show y'all a picture of my daughter before I get up, just so I can let y'all know what it is. Me and Ava and Grace. But fellas, thank y'all. I appreciate the Black Tape Podcast for taking time to let me be on part of this stuff.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you coming in.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
All right, y'all.
Yeah. So again, we had another dope interview, with another dope individual. Got a lot of things going on, and this is what we want to give y'all on a consistent basis. It's not just about talking about some of the things that most people don't want to talk about. It's also about just giving people props and showing love for the things that we need to talk about. I think in our community, again, we lack a lot of things. Empathy is one. Being able to show love to each other, being able to show I appreciate you, thank you. My mom's watching the YouTube. I want to take the time to tell my mom thank you, because You know, my father gave me that hard exterior that I needed to learn how to be a man, but none of that works if you don't have that balance of love and appreciation and honesty and empathy and all of those things as men that a lot of us don't have. And again, I'm still growing and I'm still learning. But you know, she's listening. I want to take the time to say thank you. I appreciate it. When everybody else was saying I'm bad as hell and that little boy is the devil,
Not my baby.
she was telling them, not my baby. My baby ain't bad. He mischievous. Hey, I learned how to spell mischievous at the age of 3 because I heard it so much. I wasn't bad. I was mischievous. So I thank you for that. And again, people, follow us on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, on SoundCloud at The Black Tape Podcast. That's 3 different words. The Black Tape Podcast. And you can follow us on Twitter at The Black Tape Pod. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all share it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We got to jump through a whole lot of hoops to go live because we don't have a certain amount of followers because they changed the guidelines now. So you got to have 100 followers to go live on YouTube. So make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all get this live so we can get them 100 followers so we can start going live. You know, I got all the cameras and stuff set up, and you know, we got some dope stuff for y'all.
That's it.
You ain't got nothing, man?
We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all coming out. We love y'all. Y'all be safe. And we'll talk to y'all next week.
Until next time. Peace.